Hey team, it's Daniel again with Brazos Valley Boars and Varmits. Well, the last two videos I've done have been about using drones, and I've gotten some questions about this. One of them very specifically that I wanted to bring up because I felt like it was going to be really helpful for this community had to do with the wording that has been proposed for this. Now, the change that I want to refer to here is under general rules. Again, this is going to be line E, which is a new line that is being proposed to be added to the Texas Admin Code, and it states it is lawful for a pilot operating under a valid aerial management permit or aerial management permit holder to use a UAV at any time solely for the purpose of locating feral hogs. However, no person may take or attempt to take feral hogs from a UAV. So two things. One, like I said in the last video, I'm very glad that it said take from a UAV because we're not taking from a UAV. But we are doing what I talked about in the first section, how we are using a UAV solely for the purpose of locating feral hogs. And obviously the plan is to eradicate them by any other means that are legal, because that is the conservation efforts here in Texas. So the real question is, why did it say just feral hogs? You know, there's other wildlife that we could use this for. We could use this for coyotes. We could use this for bobcats. When you go through the aerial wildlife management permit process, it actually lists off different animals that you plan on managing from the air. And I get it, like, you're not supposed to do this with deer unless you're like doing photography. That's different. But from the taking aspect of it, it talks about using aerial wildlife management for coyotes and such. And so I was wondering, along with a few other people, and there was one guy who specifically questioned me pretty hard on this, why it says just feral hogs. So I just went on ahead and emailed Stormy King. Again, Stormy is the guy who gave the presentation where he is proposing changes to the Texas Administrative Code at the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department Commission Meeting. And here was his reply after I specifically asked him why it was not about more than just hogs. And he says, "Hi, Mr. Polonsky, I made the decision to limit the proposal to hogs only at this time. This was for multiple reasons, not the least important of which was to simplify the requested change and not initiate any opposition to it. I suspect there will be little or no opposition to a proposal that improves the ability to manage an invasive exotic species such as feral hogs. This may not be the case should the proposal include native wildlife species, for example, coyotes and such, right? I did not want to jeopardize the passage of the entire proposal when I believe it will truly be game-changing in allowing us to more efficiently remove hogs. Based on my experience, I'm also not sure that simply locating coyotes via drone/thermal would add much to the game. They don't tend to stand around or get snuck up on as easily as hogs, LOL, and are probably just as efficiently hunted already with thermal technology from the ground. There's also the chance, depending on where one may be hunting, of an increased risk factor related to target identification that doesn't exist with hogs. Granted, it may provide some cool footage, but I don't feel comfortable risking the entire proposal for that reason. The main goal is to get this thing passed so we can legally do the most important thing, and that's to kill more hogs." My response was, "Mr. King, I completely agree with all of that. That sounds wonderful. I am all on board. That rationale to me actually makes perfect sense. Yes, I would love to see this amended to where we are allowed to use this technology, use these tools for managing other animals as well, like coyotes. But also, let's get real, I don't see why you can't use this on other exotic animals such as aoudad, nilgai, axis deer, fallow deer. I mean, why not? I mean, they're not considered game animals because they're not native. So if they don't follow game/native wildlife rules, why can't we use this for those also? I get it, with hogs, we're talking about eradication, but man, it would be really cool to use these for other hunts as well. I do understand why the new wording only involves hogs, and that is to get it passed. Therefore, it does set a precedent that this technology, these tools, are being used for hunting animals. And I do hope to see a future where we can use this for an expanded amount of animals that we can hunt as well. This is one of the early steps, one of the first things that we need to get done is actually get this thing passed. I don't see any reason why this shouldn't get passed whenever it does get to be voted on. I'm just waiting in anticipation. I realize right now it just says hogs. That's okay with me. Sure, I wish it says more, but let's do that another day. All right, guys. I hope that y'all enjoyed this kind of stuff. I know I'm harping really hard on drone stuff right now, but it is popping right now. But as always, take care. I hope y'all are doing great. Love y'all, and I'll see y'all around. Be awesome. Bye.